This morning, while driving in my car, I heard on NPR some very important news, and that is that the government of Iraq has chosen to begin to share intelligence with Russia, with Syria, and Iran, all with the purpose of collectively trying to destroy ISIS. This is, I think, a momentous occasion. Why? Uh, sure, they had to some degree, those three countries had to some degree been cooperating, but it's now much more formal, and it appears that very likely Russia, Putin in particular, the driving force here. Their main argument is that they are coming there to rescue Assad's regime from ISIS and to destroy it. Now, ordinarily, we think that really ought to be a very good idea. However, what is likely to take place as a consequence is a lasting Russian military presence in Syria. This presents complications that are even hard to figure out for the long term. For the immediate is how do we make sure that our own forces don't accidentally rub up against them in some way that causes a conflict. It also means that Russia is reasserting its long-term interests in Syria, going back to Soviet days, even going back to Tsarist days. Syria was Mediterranean Syria was a regular port of call for the Soviet Navy. It's become now so for Russia. And the step forward of Russian tanks, artillery, well-trained soldiers changes the dynamics almost completely here. And it's significant, too, that Iraq is turning to not the United States for this help, but to Russia, Assad, and Iran. What you have, in effect, is a Shiite alliance with Russia. Between Iran, you've got Assad, which is Shia. You've got Hezbollah, no doubt involved in it as well, and the Iraqi government is a Shia regime. ISIS is Sunni. A part of the question here is, let's assume they do destroy ISIS. Well, what then? What's going to replace it? What are the fundamental factors that led to ISIS in the first place? And it's not at all clear that there's an end game here of what's going to take place. And in the background, what's our role in all this? We don't want Assad's regime, but all of our efforts to create some kind of intermediary has so far been wholly unproductive. So we may have to make a choice of what to do. And that's not clear yet, what we'll do.